Hello and welcome to An Economist's Perspective, where we discuss the latest trends in the world economy. Today we will be talking about South Korea and its growing influence in international economics. Here with me today, I have Amy Kawamura.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. She is a White House aide in economics, and joining us remotely, we have Caitlin Nguyen from Santa Clara University, a professor of international economics.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Today we also have Ryan Kam, a correspondent here at the news station, and he's also somewhat of a Korean enthusiast.
Hi there. Hope I can give some good perspective.
Thank you all for coming. And to start us off, Ryan, could you give us an overview of the historical background to South Korea?
No problem, Ross. Modern-day South Korea was truly shaped from its split with the North. Soon following the ending events of the Korean War in 1953, South Korea began accepting foreign aid in the form of grants and direct investment. In fact, of the total foreign direct investment going into South Korea at the time, about 52% was from Japan and 29% from the US. The US, on the other hand, provided the largest amount of grant aid to the country. From 1953 to 1968, the US had provided approximately $3 billion in grant aid, which was 60% of the total investment in the country at the time. In 1961, Park Chung-hee took power of South Korea as a military dictator. Elected in 1963, he served as the president of South Korea until his assassination in 1979. Park is actually credited for the rapid economic growth through industrialization, which was provided through his 5-year plans. Beginning in 1962, Park enacted a series of 5-year plans to encourage self-sufficiency for the country's economy. He wanted the country to run as its own without the need of U.S. financing. Therefore, within these plans, Park encouraged industrialization to create a more competitive South Korean share in the world market. This was emphasized into all 5-year plans, but was mainly focused on between 1967 and 1971.
Thanks, Ryan, for the overview. But let's get to the present. How is Korea doing now? We know that a few years ago, in 2008, during the financial crisis, they were one of the few developed countries to not go into recession. But what's the case right now?
They're doing well, but at the same time, very dependent, almost too dependent on manufacturing. As of 2012, agriculture accounts for 2.7% of GDP, industry 39.8%, and services 57.5%. Even so, manufactured exports are half of GDP. Korea has a heavy reliance on exports due to their manufacturing growth engine, which has propelled them out of poverty into where they are now, which has also recently started to slow down due to decreasing domestic consumption, investment, and exports. Which is dangerous because, again, Korea is heavily dependent on exports and manufacturing, and thus has a scarcely unbalanced economy. The government is trying to expand the service sector, but Korea needs to majorly change its policies if they want to make an impact. Historically, the service sector has been startup innovation and capital because Korea has been so focused on the manufacturing firms. With tariff barriers, export promotion, and special privileges such as buying foreign currency and interest-free loans, efficiency growth in export industries has increased more rapidly than in the rest of the economy. Unfortunately, this has also distorted several parts of the economy, creating increasingly slowing growth, worsening inflation, and an accumulating of non-performing loans. Korea has only begun to address these problems recently, but not without obstacles like the 1997 financial crisis. And unless they make drastic changes, these obstacles will continue to appear.
Okay, let's work off of that. The 1997 financial crisis in South Korea encouraged economic reform, with increased transparency, reforming the financial sector, and strengthening corporate governance. This allowed the South Korean economy to rebound and grow, but continued reforms have been stalled over the years, and public support for open trade has fluctuated in the country. However, recent efforts to encourage free trade and investment have been realized in the passing of trade agreements by the US Congress and the European Union in 2010 and 2011. The 2013 Index of Economic Freedom gives South Korea a rating of 70.3 out of 100. This makes it the 34th freest economy, with its future dependent on how debates over the government's role in the free market and welfare policies pan out. So the question we're trying to get at, is Korea open or is it still kind of restrictionist?
Okay, well, before answering the question directly, we have to discuss the fact that South Korea has come a long way. South Korea has become a high-tech industrialized economy, and most importantly is now one of the world's 20 largest economies and one of the top 10 in Asia. According to research, South Korea was able to make this massive jump of becoming a high-tech industrialized economy because the government promoted the import of raw materials and technology at the expense of the consumer goods, and they also encouraged savings investments over consumption. But just because South Korea did that, it does not mean they allow complete free trade. Currently, the trade-weighted tariff rate is at 8.7%, but most likely will continue to decline in the future to allow more foreign investment. To further emphasize this point, we have to stress the fact that South Korea and the United States have finally agreed on the U.S.-South Korea Free Trade Agreement that went into effect March of 2012. Ever since the Asian financial crisis, South Korea has attempted to create economic reforms that allow much more foreign investment and imports. Based on a list of worlds sorted by foreign direct investment, South Korea is ranked at 25th. South Korea is trying to find ways to incentivize other countries to invest in their market. For example, the government offers tax support, cash grants, and other site location support to promote investment for South Korea's future. Although it is high on the list of countries with FDI, for South Korea, FDI is still not playing a large enough role in their economy and needs to expand while opening their doors to free trade. This will most likely happen in the near future, and as there will be an increase of FDI due to the appeal of new free trade agreements with major economic countries like the United States, Japan, China, and Europe.
Okay, we're just out of time now. Thank you for all your input, and thanks for coming,
Of course, thank
Amy.
you.
Until next time, this is An Economist's Perspective.
Goodbye, viewers. Until next time.